Hello everyone at all. This is Morphy Joe again back on the air with bit and pieces with Morphy Joe. How are you guys doing? I believe everybody are good. And then how is everything going on with your side? Hopefully we are all good. And my carers wherever you are, how are you doing? Hope you are doing the right thing. Yeah, you are all welcome to the program again this evening. So, what do you have again? It's nothing much. I believe we've even mentioned it sometimes ago on this program. So that's what I said. Maybe I should bring it back in order to discuss it bit fully, rather than what we did last time. And what's the topic we're gonna talk about? It's nothing much but report writing. When I say it's nothing much, I don't want people to think that report writing is nothing much. There is a lot with report writing in social worker. Lots. There's a lot. Because when you talk about one of the important topics, is one of the important parts of social worker. Even when you are in residential or domiciliary kind of care setting, report writing is very, very vital to whatever you are doing. You might be very good in your manual handling processes. You might be very good in your discrete medication administration, which is fine. You might be very good in whatever area of the field. But if you are very poor in report writing, I think you shouldn't be doing the job. You have to learn it, because no matter what you do, what is important, part of what is important is report writing, because you can give whatever you want to give. When you still finish, you still need to give this report, and not just to give report. That is why I'm going to this evening. I don't want to talk much about, as I always said, report writing is very, very important across that industry, whether you even work in the hospital or do stuff. That is why people always deal with paperwork. Even when your head is knocked down at the hospital, you see them going to do the paperwork to make sure that they don't miss anything. So within a home setup, nursing home, I believe they can do whatever after they've already done the job, and then they lay down whatever they do. So, and then that is out. But I narrow my thing down to domiciliary care setup. Maybe some people don't know what is domiciliary care setup. I believe a lot of people must have known what I mean by domiciliary care setup, because I've always been mentioning domiciliary. That is the home care. In a situation where your staff actually goes to their client's home to look after them. That is what they call domiciliary. So some people call it dom care, but that is a short form of domiciliary. But it's domiciliary care setup, where you go to your client's house to look after your clients. That is what I'm talking about. Yeah, let's focus on the writing. As I said report writing is as important as any part of your skills in discharging your duty within this care setup, even if no more. But my concerns about most carer is that we normally don't take report writing as much important as other area. We just see it as, okay, I just have to put something down. Even there are some of carer out there that don't even write anything down. They will just write one line. It's just as if they're being forced to write anything down. And I don't know, it's just like you go to a place, you don't give somebody feedback, and you expect them to know that you do the job. How would they know that you do the job? Though you might log in, you might tell them you are there, but you still need to give certain reports. That is why report writing is very important. But in social worker, they send you to a client's house. You just have to tell whoever whoever send you, whoever give your company, your organization the job, whoever that is, maybe there's gonna be issue in future. There might not even be issue. The family might just know what is going on. Even the client might just know, okay, what is going on. So you need to write something down. That is why report writing is very, very important. Very, very. And even the what you are written down, that booklet is even a legal document. It's a legal document. Nothing should touch it. Now imagine you just decide not to write anything down, and something happen in future. I will be able to defend yourself. So that one I said, that was exactly what I mentioned about maybe when we first started this program, about guys who always, carers who always, okay, don't care to write anything down. You see some carer, I don't know if it is their attitude or anything, I don't really know. They will leave the job, they will do their job, they won't write anything, they will just leave, saying that I will come back and write something down. It just sounds so strange sometimes when I first got into this field, because you don't know what will happen, you don't know who will come immediately you leave. You don't know whether there will be social services that will come down to check on the man. You don't know whether something will happen, police will come in, and they want to know whether you've been there. And then you will now start to be defending yourself unnecessarily. I was there, this is what I did, this is what she even, when you've not even written anything down. Somebody will be saying that, okay, when I finish all my job for the whole day, and they would have a report. What makes you believe that you're going to be there for the whole day? What if anything happens to you? You won't have the opportunity to come back to that place. So that is one side. Another side is the way carer writes report. That is very, very important. That is where I even want to discuss mostly today. Some carer, you go to your clients, you do a lot of jobs, and you guys are doing a lot of difficult jobs. That job is not just an easy, it's not an easy job, it's not a straightforward job. You go there, you do all these things, and then by the time you want to write your report, the next thing you write is just 2 lines. And when you compare what you do to what you actually put down, one cannot relate it to one another. And in case some of them have they've even hit themselves on the foot, in the sense that they have a client to attend to, which the allocated hour or minutes is just about 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and you are spending over that allocated minute. Maybe it's just 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and you are spending over an hour because of the job involved. But when you want to write your report, you just, okay, I met Mr. So fine. I give personal care. Let me put it mostly more when they normally put it. I met Mr. A fine. I gave him personal care, or her personal care, gave him medication, left him comfortable, and said bye. I just realized, what is this? And then suddenly you will come back to the office. That job is just too terrible. Oh, the client is too terrible. Just wasted most of my time. I can't. The time allocated is not even enough at all. Yeah, you might be logging in. Logging in sometimes don't speak volume. I'm very sorry to say, because there are lots of care nowadays that have not how to weight the system. And lots of them out there. When you get to the bottom of the whole thing, then you realize that, wow, as you are pushing forward to be able to guide against all these things, you see some people being a step ahead of you, trying to manipulate system. Yeah, even the report writing I'm talking about, people still manipulate it one way or the other, but still it's a bit different. So if you say that, okay, you go there, you log in. There's some people who log in manually from outside before they get to a client's house. Out of that, some of them don't even think that they know. By the time they say, I do a lot of shit. By the time I do a lot of shit, and I realized that, come on, you didn't log in there. The map was telling me, the location was telling me you log in at this particular place. So that is not where you log in. So sometimes login don't speak volume, but what really shows that you spending more hour in your client's house is the activity, all the activities you embark on, that you the way you deliver your care. And you might deliver your care very well, you might go through all these activities, but if you don't put it down in the right way, it will come back to you against you. So as I said, you are spending a lot of hours, you are spending more hour than what is allocated, and you raise it, but your communication record sheet don't speak the way you are talking. Instead of you to break it down, when you say you give personal care, what do? There are some of you that even use hoist. What do you be saying? I hosted. Come on, stop saying I hosted. Because the person reading it, he or she is the one that will decide whether you are. But by the time you break everything down to you use link, this is how you put in this link, this is how you now use the hoist to now attach this link to the hoist and then move the client from point A to point B. All those things actually take minutes and seconds. So by the time they now realize all those breakdown, I give him a wash, you dry the body, you cream the body, all those stuff, those breakdown bit by bit, little by little, actually shows that okay, you're doing your job. You are not the only one that have been there. I could remember one time when I in my office, when they said we have to put down whatever we do for the whole day, even when you are doing more than what is stipulated. That time I would just put okay, I would just brief whatever. It was my manager said, no, those phone calls, how do you deal with the phone calls? What takes you? Whom did you call after the phone calls to make sure that the issue raised, you actually resolve it? So I then started to break everything down. By the time I finished writing everything, I realized that wow, 2 or 3 copies of my edition have already filled up. Then they realized that, come on, they're even doing too much, more than what we thought they were doing. So they have to take a step back. So people will not, they will not support you. They will finding a way of cutting the cost, of bringing the price of care down. But you have to, and it shouldn't be at your own expense. But if you allow it, it will be at your own expense. Because if you don't do what you need to do, you don't write it in details. That's where I'm going. Your report is supposed to be in details of whatever you've done. Then if you they want to decide on it, they can then decide on it. Okay, it's worth increasing the hour, or it does not worth increasing the hour. Or that is, we don't pay more than this particular minutes for this thing. Just make sure that immediately you get to this stage, you just leave. And then they will send that thing in writing, meaning that something have already backed you up, even if you don't do much. And there are some certain occasions that they add at least 30 minutes call, 15 minutes can be added to it to 45 minutes. Really, some social services pay for an hour. When it gets to an hour, they realize that okay, something needs to be done. Maybe a review needs to be done. Then they would say, because most of these things, they still ask the family to pay, provided they do not meet the what's name, the how do they call it, the mean testing thing. So if the family have more money in savings, I won't go into the what's the name, the technical part of that one, but they will do the mean testing. If you pass the mean testing, meaning that you do not have a certain amount of money in your account, if they don't know, then government will take over that, the paying for that care. But if they do, the family they have to shift this into the family. And if family don't want to pay, 9 out of the family don't want to pay, because most of those money in their account, they want to live for their children or grandchildren. So if they don't want to pay, it's either you do whatever you need to do. They shouldn't be using your energy to do the job. But how do you come to the conclusion of not using your own energy, or you being responsible for a job that you will not be paid for? Is by making sure that whatever you are doing from the word go, I always tell some of them, because you will see some carer, maybe because they want the job by all means, they start doing the jobs. They will not complain. They will not get to a stage. They will then complain. From the word go, the job is this, the job is that. But my dear, that is why we send you there, and we've been asking you since all this while, how's the job going? You're saying everything is fine. Suddenly you realize that you're spending more hour than you should be spending there, which is not right. But once you always detail your reports. You put it down in detail. This is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do. And by the time somebody who audits those communication record sheet within a month, they should be able to know, because it depends on how many calls you have. If you have 4 calls, no matter how heavy your communication record sheet, if you are in detail, you must have fill it up. And by the time they go through it in the office, I bet you they must have picked it up. Okay. And you relating to them, telling them, okay, this is what is going on here. This is what is going on here. Don't lie, because they will not rely on you telling them that, okay, the job is more than that hour. They will not rely on you. They will still have to go back there and do their own review. And as I always said, I even said it last week, if you are given an hour to do a job, if you do that job for a week and you don't reduce that half an hour, if that job is half an hour and you don't reduce that half an hour, then you are not doing something right. You're not doing something right. Yeah, at the beginning of the whole thing, you might be struggling. Where is this? Where is this? You get used to the client get used to you. That one takes time. But by the time the care is settled, you know what to do. You relate with your client. You don't need to be running around to get this, to get that. Then some few minutes need to be shaved off that hour. But if from the word go, they said allocated hour for allocated minute for a particular shift is 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and you are spending 45 minutes or an hour, meaning 30 minutes, and you are spending 45 minutes from the word go, there is no way you will shave off 15 minutes. Let's be frank with ourselves. There is no way you will shave off 15 minutes. The highest you will shave off, maybe it is not call, yes, because sometimes client might just need to, okay, just don't worry about my meal, I'm okay, give me tea, and then you talk with them, yeah, or they just tell you, okay, I'm not comfortable this afternoon, I'm okay, I just want to be myself. You can go, you can then leave. But in a situation I'm talking about AM call and probably maybe evening call, when you're doing this, you must make sure there is no way they will say, okay, a call is 45 minutes and you are spending another an hour, 12 minutes, an hour, 15 minutes. There is no way you can shave off almost 30 minutes. No way. The highest you can shave off in a package, especially in the morning, is about 5 minutes. 5 minutes or 7 minutes that you can shave off. So meaning that particular pause is more than that. But there are some of you who actually balance the whole thing. When you go to, if the lunch call mostly don't normally busy, yeah, you can just forgo about the morning calls. Okay, I can just balance the whole things together. But you still need to report it. Let them know what is going on. Because the day they report you only spend 10 minutes, 20 minutes for your lunch call, people will not put into consideration extra 30 minutes you're spending during the lunch call, during the AM call. So you have to make sure that your report is detailed. Another thing I want to talk about, though it's not our language, meaning English, it's not our language, but it's better that so far we're gonna engage in this. If you are within the health industry, there's possibility you write report. There's possibility. And when you're writing English, just finding a way to better your English, because sometimes not writing good English can even implicate you. Sometimes when care write something and then they will be implicating themselves unknowingly. I've seen loads. I've audited a lot of, what's the name, both communication record sheet and marshal. They will be implicating themselves, not knowing about, okay, I'm implicating my, most of the time when I invite them, okay, read this, and then they will read it, and so what is the problem, and then by the time I explain the problems, I really don't know. So trying to better yourself in whatever you're doing, no matter how, just make sure that it's explanatory enough. Let somebody pick your report sheet and communication record sheet and be able to interpret it the way you want them to interpret it, not to interpret it or other way around, because it is possible. Just try. If there are a lot of apps around, you can ask your manager. There is no big deal in it. No big deal in it. At the end of the whole day, it is you that you are adding value to your life. You're not doing it for anybody, you're doing it for yourselves. You are not going to be doing that job for the rest of your life. Everything is staged in life, provided you look ahead to where you're going. You don't miss the road. So you continue to make sure that, okay, how do I write a better report? How do I write a better report? You continue to learn. There are a lot of, even in care listening, you do report writing. So you make sure that you better yourself by writing. I'm not saying Queen's English, just write something that be able to be, so when you're passing information through, or the other side will be able to catch the information you are passing through. Okay, this is what he or she is trying to say here. This is what he or she is trying to say here. Not that when you write everything, you just module everything up. And there are some people, no full stop, no command, no nothing. They just run it through as if they are talking to you directly. Even when you are talking, there are stages that you stop. You don't just run from end to end. Yeah, just make sure that you and try to write clearly. Try to write clearly. And again, don't abbreviate. I've seen some people that are abbreviated, and then it's just, you don't abbreviate when you're writing report. I don't know what you mean by that. Your abbreviation might not be the way I term your abbreviation. You don't abbreviate, and don't use ambiguous word, something that everybody will be looking for everywhere. What's the meaning? Especially we Nigerians, we're normally trying to speak unnecessary grammar that we don't even need. They don't even need it. Just write simple, straightforward English. Very straightforward English. My name is Maru. My name is Murphy. So you can't change that one. My name is Murphy. My name is Murphy. You can't change that one. But when I started looking for one massive English in order to tell them this is my name, that is then another thing entirely. So you write clearly, you don't abbreviate, you make sure that you detail in whatever you are doing. You detail. That one is very, very, very important. I can tell you that one right now. Please make sure that you detail in whatever you are doing. And then what else? And again, another thing is that, okay, that is there for those people who write. Another one that I want to talk about, I mentioned it when I first started this, is for you guys who don't care to write. You run away from writing, especially when you have double ups. You always push this other one, you always push the other one. But you don't know what the other one is writing for you. The other one might be implicating you. I've seen many. That one will be writing, the other one will be saying something different. That's okay. I've seen somebody that she was the one writing, and she actually put initial of the other one there. That the other one gave medication, all this stuff. I read that thing and I realized that no, this is not what happened. And then I called them and she was shocked. I said, no, because you always take a step back whenever it turns to writing. Even when you're not good, trying to improve yourself in that aspect. You might be good in all other parts of care. So being bad in one area and then thinking that, okay, I can't improve in that area, that is not good enough. just always try to better yourself. Make sure that you see to what other colleague is writing, or else if problem happens, you'll be on your own. You'll be on your own. So report writing is very is as important as other part. It's as important as you not giving wrong medication. It's as important as when transferring somebody, you do not drop them, if not more important than them. Because if you say you go to your client's house and I can't see anything you put down, there's nothing you can tell me. I know you are there, but you have to prove it. Wasted most of your time, unnecessarily wasting your time to prove something to me that you've already done. It's just silly. For me, it's silly. If you can wait to resolve this issue. Okay, this is what I've done. You lay it down, you lay it down, you lay it down, you lay it down. I had a carer one time that CCG went to a client's house to reveal a package. They didn't even tell us. They saw her write a report writing, and they called us to say, because she was the one working there. We're just fortunate working there, and it was like, wow. If that's the way all your carers are writing this thing, I respect you guys. You guys are doing a very good job. That is how somebody should be writing a report. Very detailed. Even when the mom, when they went there for the review, when the mom are struggling with what do they do for you, by the time they pick up the communication and started reading it, everything just, it was like when you open somebody's eye into that package. They just fell in love with everything about that you guys are doing a good job. Even maybe the mom even have complained or the other, but for them to be able to see those reports and they read it out to the woman says, yes, that is what the lady does, which is fantastic. For her, fantastic. For us, extremely fantastic, because she actually represented us very well over there. So make sure that your report is detailed. This is where I'm gonna stop this, and next week we have other program for us. We have other topics, that we'll talk about. If you want me to talk about any other programs, I still want to go into moving and handling. We just did maybe one side, just a tiny part of moving and handling. That is clients sitting client from standing to sitting, which is just a tiny part. I still want to go into it, but it's just I don't know how to, because I need to be showing you what I need to be telling you, the mistakes people are making, so you guys will not make that kind of mistakes again. But I will find a way out. I will design the program and I will come back here. So I want you guys to always stick around. So I have lots of programs, lots of different kinds of programs, like newspaper review, movie reviews, and they are all coming out. They will soon come out. So until next week, I'll be coming back again. I want you guys to make sure that your report writing continue to be detailed and you're doing the writing. Until then, from me, Murphy Ojo.